and the compassion of who we are, and just offer that to people, the streets become a much better place to be. And sometimes it's challenging. It's challenging. I'm sure you know when you went home every weekend and you tried to change somebody that they were like, excuse me. Okay? I don't have to be healed if I don't want to. Leave me over here. Yeah? As a mom, I used to always try to heal my children. And I would talk to them about this, and they would just get to the point where they would be, Mom, please, please, I don't go to that school, I don't want that degree. And now they come to me and they say, Mom, tell me what you were saying about this or that, because when you take it to the streets, you don't get attached to what people do with it. You just put it out there and allow it to grow in their presence, and it does do that. The other day I went to the nail salon, not a particularly enlightening place that you go to, but they was having a special, and I had to come here because you didn't want to see the way my nails looked on Friday. So I was in the nail salon, and I gave up news and newspapers and television. I do read my People magazine, but I gave up the news 15 years ago. I couldn't take it anymore. I just could not take it, so I gave it up. Forgive me. So there's very often, I don't know what is going on in the world. So I'm in the nail salon, and this woman was sitting there, and I guess she just fell in love with me like people do every now and then. Don't you feel the pangs of it moving through your body right now? And I was there, and so she says to me, are you going to the Beck rally? I said, no, I'm going to get my eyebrows done next. Now, I didn't know about the Beck rally. I didn't even know who Beck is. But then, when people are looking at you, and I figured it was something I was supposed to know about because she was so excited about it. And then she went on to tell me that the Beck was, and the Tea Party people were having a rally over here, and Al Sharpton, Reverend Al Sharpton was having a rally over there, and more people were at the Tea Party event than at the Reverend Al Sharpton event commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King's March on Washington. I didn't know any of that was going on. I was just trying to get my nails done. And so she started to tell me, and in her speaking and in her presentation to me of all of the things that were going on, and with the bank, and with the this, and with the that, and it was so much against this in her speaking, and you can begin to hear it, and you begin to feel it. And she went on and on and on, and I just listened kindly, and when she finished, I said to her, have you read The Biology of Beliefs by Bruce Lipton? Because see, when you take it to the streets, you don't try to talk them out of where they are. You just stand as an inspiration for where they could possibly be. Have you read The Biology of Beliefs by Bruce Lipton? And she just kind of looked at me. I said, it's really, really great. You would absolutely love it. Do you know if you go on Amazon today, you can probably get it, that direct shipping, and you could have it 2 days from now. Because when you take it to the streets, you meet people where they are. And dance there with them for a while. Not fearing that you'll be infected by anything that they have, but they'll be inspired by who you are. Just take it to the streets and bring it down a notch and let people just inhale it through their being. I take it to the streets very often because I have teenage grandchildren. Oh. One of which I'm raising, and I said to her doctor recently, I said, oh God, is there a pill? She said, oh no, you know how they are. I said, no, not a pill for her, a pill for me. A pill for me that'll get me through this, because they're very different today. Teenagers are very different today than they were when I was a teenager, or when my children was teenagers, or whatever it is that they're quick with. I don't have none of it. They're very different. So I listen to the things that they say, and I'm with them. And when you take it to the streets, you gotta listen. You have to listen with your hair and with your fingernails and with your eyes and with your shoulders. You have to do a very different kind of listening because people are going to communicate a lot to you through what they don't say. They're going to communicate a lot to you through not knowing how to ask the questions that they really want to ask, because in this day and world and age, people always want to act like they know what's going on, and we don't really, and neither do they. But if you listen from your heart, and if you listen with your hair follicles, and if you listen with your hair and your fingernails and your toenails, you will be able to find out exactly where that person is hurting. And you can sit in that place with them, knowing that it's just a temporary event. Taking it to the streets means that it's not that we have something that others don't have. It's that we want to share with people all of who we are and the experiences that we have had. I'm a scrapbooker, I confess. That's a third confession. I gotta work with myself. I'm an avid scrapbooker. Do you know about scrapbooking? When you take pieces of paper and you make them into lovely things. I'm so excited. I just want to throw him on the ground because he's got some pictures that I could put in a scrapbook. I know you do. So I'm an avid scrapbooker, and I frequent scrapbooking places, and particularly Michael's. I don't know if you know about Michael's. I thought I started. Yay for Michael's! Everybody should have something to do in Michael's at least once a month. Okay? So I go, and this week they weren't particularly having a sale, so that meant that it wasn't going to be a lot of people there, and it was just exciting for me. So I got out the car, and I don't particularly like walking with my cell phone. I never walk with my cell phone, but my granddaughter, the one that's like giving me this gray hair in my eyebrow, like, can you see the gray hair right there? Can you see it? No, good, I'm glad you can't see it. That one, she was going to call me at 3:30 because she gets out of school at 3:30, and she calls me, it was 3:27, and I couldn't wait any longer, so I had to go into Michael's to see what was going on there since there weren't many people. And so I went in and I got what I had to get. They didn't have anything on sale, and everything they have I already have, so I just picked up one little thing because it's like against my religion to go in there and not buy something. So I had the one thing I was going to get, and I was in line. And just as I was in line, there was a woman in front of me, and there were two behind me. And the woman behind me, she was a member of the armed forces, and she was mad at Michael. Not the store Michael, her Michael. How did I know that? She was on her cell phone. And it was his birthday. And she had made special arrangements, and he just wasn't acting right. She had even rented a car. And she didn't understand why he couldn't have dropped everything that he was doing to do what she had done, was to make special time in her day for his birthday. And just as the story was getting good, my cell phone rang. It was my granddaughter. And I had to go over into the corner because I really don't like talking in public on my cell phone. And I said to her, honey, I'll call you back. And she said, yes. But in my absence from the line, the woman who was in the armed forces on the phone that was mad at Michael after she had rented a car and made all of these plans for his birthday, she had stepped into my space of line. Oh joy, oh rapture, an opportunity to take it to the streets. So I hung up the phone and I stepped back in place, and she was going on, and she had a meeting with the sergeant, and it would be over till 3, so she was going to wait. And I mean, why do I know this? She was on her cell phone. And the moment she hung up from her cell phone, I said to her in my nicest, most see-the-loving essence, not going to judge you, compassionate voice, excuse me, I was in line here. And she turned at me and gave me the look. You know the look? Yeah. She gave me the look, and I stood holding myself in my UMS stature. And then she began to read me for filth. I didn't know you were in line. That's when you breathe.